Okay, so you want to talk inspiration. You sent in this Denzel Washington speech.
Uh-huh.
And man, this guy is electric.
Yeah.
It's no wonder this video, like, blew up online. He
Yeah.
was pure motivation,
It's like a shot in the arm.
straight to the heart.
You know what gets me, though? This isn't just some generic, graduation speech.
Right.
This is Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Someone who has spent his entire life facing rejection.
In Hollywood. In Hollywood.
One of the most brutal industries.
He's not just talking the talk. He has lived it.
And you feel that, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what makes it so powerful.
Absolutely.
That honesty. So today we're diving deep into this speech.
Right.
And we're going to try to pull out the pieces that'll stick with you.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
The nuggets of wisdom.
The nuggets of wisdom, yeah.
And one of the first things that jumps out at me is his take on failure.
Okay.
He says, point blank, if you're not failing, you're not even trying.
Oh.
Now, that might sound a little counterintuitive. It does.
But there's a real truth in there.
It's like, wait, aren't we supposed to be avoiding failure?
Right.
But he's saying, no, failure is like...
It's like this key ingredient.
It's part of it.
Yeah, it's essential for growth.
He even shares that story about auditioning for a Broadway musical.
Early in his career.
And he was convinced he was perfect for this role.
Except for one thing.
One tiny detail.
He can't sing.
Yeah. Didn't get the part, of course.
Naturally.
But here's the thing. He didn't let that define him.
Nope.
He took it and kept going.
He used it as fuel.
Which makes me wonder, for everyone listening.
Yeah.
What's your failed audition? And how did you bounce back from it?
It's interesting, actually, because what he's talking about, the way he's approaching this, it's backed by science.
Really?
Yeah. Our brains actually learn more from mistakes than successes.
Oh, wow.
And each time we fail, it rewires our neural pathways.
So it's like our brain is taking notes, saying, all right, not going to do that again.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's not about, like, celebrating failure.
Right.
It's about using it.
It's a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And he takes this even further with his think outside the box analogy.
Oh, yeah, the 9 dots.
The 9 dots, you got to connect them.
With 4 lines.
4 straight lines, but most people get stuck.
Because they think they have to stay within the square.
Yeah, it's those boundaries we put on ourselves.
Even if they don't exist?
Exactly.
And he's saying, break free.
In problem solving, creativity, anything.
And it's not just talk.
No.
His whole career is like that.
He embodies it.
He takes risks, goes for unusual roles.
Always pushing the boundaries.
It's like he's saying, don't fear failure.
Because it might make you think differently.
Yeah, break the mold.
And it all ties in with another big theme, faith and gratitude. He talks about putting God first, being thankful for everything.
Even the tough stuff?
And even if you're not religious, gratitude is powerful.
It's about perspective, right?
Yeah, focusing on what you do have.
Not what you're missing.
And there's a ton of research on this now.
Oh, really?
Gratitude reduces stress. You feel more abundant.
Interesting.
It's good for you.
I like that.
It fits perfectly with Denzel's own life, too.
Oh,
he's been through a lot, but he always finds a way to be grateful.
And then he tells that story, right?
Oh, the woman in the beauty shop?
Yeah. He was flunking out of college.
Feeling lost.
And she just comes up to him.
And basically prophesies his success.
Yeah, saying he'll travel the world and speak to millions.
And at that time, it must have seemed impossible.
Totally.
But those words, they stuck with him.
He said they gave him purpose.
That belief in something bigger.
Like planting a seed, even when things were tough.
Powerful stuff.
It's like a reminder that we're not alone in those tough times.
There's support out there.
Guidance, a sense of purpose.
To help us through those ups and downs.
It makes you think about what you hold on to.
When you want to give up.
Where do you find that strength?
It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
It really is. And you know what else is interesting? Denzel doesn't just leave us with these feel-good stories.
Right.
He gives us practical advice.
Okay.
This whole idea of falling forward.
I like that.
He says, when he falls, he doesn't want to fall back. He wants to fall forward.
Like bring on the challenges, bring on the setbacks.
Because there's a chance to grow there.
It reminds me of how he talks about Reggie Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
The baseball legend.
Struck out more than anyone else.
Over 2,600 times.
The most in history.
But you don't remember that, do you?
Nope.
You remember the home runs.
And I think that's what he's getting at.
It's not about never messing up.
It's about having the guts to keep swinging.
Yeah.
Even when you miss.
What about Thomas Edison?
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Didn't he, have over 1,000 failed experiments
I think you're right.
before the light bulb.
Each one getting him closer.
Closer to success.
And Denzel takes this beyond just career stuff too, you know?
Okay.
He talks about faith, about helping others, living a life that's bigger than just you.
Right, right.
He even tells that story, you know, about being young, flunking out of college.
Feeling lost.
And he's in his mom's beauty shop.
Uh-huh.
And this woman just walks up to him.
Out of the blue.
And prophesies his future success.
Like, imagine that. You're struggling to pass your classes.
And she paints this picture of him speaking to millions.
Crazy.
Seemed impossible.
But here's the thing.
What?
Her words stayed with him.
He said they gave him purpose.
Like, that was the moment that seed was planted.
Even though things were rough.
He's honest, though, right?
About what?
He didn't always hold on to that faith perfectly.
Yeah, but he says God always held on to him.
Powerful.
Speaks to that idea that even when we mess up, there's something there to support us.
Whether it's faith or something else. Makes you think about those moments in your life, right?
Where you feel like giving up.
Where you're flunking out of college.
What do you hold on to?
It keeps you going.
That brings us to another point, goals.
Goals, okay.
He says, dreams without goals are just dreams.
Tricks.
You need that plan.
A roadmap.
To make it happen.
He's basically saying, don't just wish for it, work for it.
And he's talking about goals on every level, daily, monthly, yearly.
Even jokes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes his daily goal is just to not curse someone out.
But it shows you got to be intentional.
Have something to aim for, big or small.
And he ties it back in, you know.
To what?
When you fall, those goals help you get back up.
So it's like a cycle. You dream, you set goals, you work towards them, you hit a wall.
You fall forward.
And keep pushing.
But through it all, there's this message of making a difference. He asks, what are you going to do with what you have?
Not everyone starts in the same place.
That everyone has something.
It's not about comparing ourselves. It's looking inward.
Asking, what are my gifts? How can I contribute?
And he challenges the idea that helping others is selfless.
Yeah.
Calls it the most selfish thing you can do.
Because the joy you get back from it.
It's greater than any reward.
It's like that quote, you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse.
In the end, it's not about what we gather.
It's about what we give.
The lives we touch, the legacy we leave.
And he wraps it up with that powerful call to action.
Oh, yeah.
Pray that you put your slippers way under the bed.
So you got to get on your knees to reach them.
And while you're down there,
say thank you.
Thank you for everything, grace, mercy, understanding.
Parents, love, kindness, humility.
Peace, prosperity.
He even says thank in advance.
For what's coming.
Wow.
It's about being grateful even when it's hard.
And that thanking in advance, that's interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Like aligning ourselves with what we want.
Believing it's already on its way.
It's almost like he's saying being grateful opens you up to getting more.
Yeah, like it sets the stage.
And it goes back to that core message.
What's that?
Believing in yourself, having that faith, working hard, and trying to make a difference.
He doesn't want us just going through the motions, you know?
Yeah.
He wants us to really live.
Leave our mark.
And that brings us back to how we felt at the beginning, right? Watching that speak.
That electric feeling.
Motivating, it stays with you.
And it's because it's more than just words.
It's great.
He's sharing himself, his struggles.
His wins.
That belief in people.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I got to ask, what hit home for you?
What resonated?
What are you going to do differently after hearing all this? Maybe it's looking at failure in a new light.
As that stepping stone.
Maybe it's taking a chance.
Thinking bigger.
Or just, taking a minute to be thankful.
Like he said.
Whatever it is, don't let this end here.
Keep the conversation going.
Denzel's speech, it's a gift.
A spark.
Don't let it fade.
Let it guide you.
Inspire you.
Help you create a life with meaning.
A life with purpose.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.